Hey guys, it's Glenn from Glenn's Car Collection. A couple of you have asked me to do a garage update, so let's do a garage update where we are so far. It's the end of October. Let me give you an update on the NSX. I bought this, I think, in May or June, around Memorial Day. I think it was the beginning of June. Found this car out in California. It's an '05, so it's the last year of the first generation NSX. I bought it with about 36,000 miles, a little more than that. 36,500, 36,700, and I've probably put about 800 miles on it so far. Drove it a lot this summer. I'm not really a convertible guy, I'm a coupe guy, but what I like about these cars is the target top and the roof is removable. So that's kind of like my summer car. Take it to a lot of car shows. I'm a big fan of having the target top off on the back roads. Not a big fan of, I'm not really a sun guy, so I don't really have it off on the highway. It's just too windy. You know, these cars came out in '91 and they didn't have too much wind buffeting like a new car, so it definitely gets windy when you're on the highway. So I prefer to keep it, I love the top down with the back road. With the mid-engine, you can really hear the engine and you can really hear the exhaust. So that's kind of like my summer car. With November coming next week, this car is probably going to go into storage. We have the 1M. I'm actually going to be bringing that back to the warehouse. You'll see my 1M versus M2 videos. This is just a fantastic car. I've had this, I think next summer will be 3 years. I bought it with 10,000 miles. I have about 15.5 now. So by the time next summer rolls around, I bet you'll have 16 or 17. So it'll probably be around, you know, 6,000 to 7,000 miles in 3 years. This is one of my favorite cars to drive. When I have to put this car into storage or back to the warehouse, I hate it because I love driving it so much. And again, 1Ms are 1 year only cars. In the United States, 2011, 740 produced, 309 were made in orange. The GLA, this is my new daily driver. I have about 2,000 miles on this car, a little more. So I love every second of this car. I think what this car has, even over the M cars, is this great engine. The engine runs at 26.5 pounds of boost from the factory. Even though it's a small car, you can fit 4 adults in this car easily, and I can put all my hockey gear in the trunk. So even though it's small dimension-wise, it's a real good use of space. What I love about this car, my number one thing is the engine. Number two thing is these Recaro seats. Though they may not be the best for a 2 or 3 hour drive, you know, anything under an hour, 90 minutes, I think they're fantastic. They really hug you in the seats. This car will definitely get winter tires. I have a winter set left over from my CLA 45, and I'll be putting them on this car. They should fit, so we'll probably be doing that at the beginning of November. Here's the M2. This car I got May 6th of 2016, so that's what, June, July, August, September, October, almost November. So we're about to do a 6-month review on it. I have over 6,000 miles on it. I mean, it's been flawless. I had the one service, I think, that came around 1,000 miles, and it's not due for another service till about, according to the computer, till about 10 or 12,000 miles. And also this GLA 45 had one service just before I bought it, and the oil change and service intervals for this car are 10,000 miles, not $10,000, 10,000 miles, and the service is not free for the Mercedes. I forgot what I spent for the first service for the CLA 45, 10,000 miles. I think it was like $150. It wasn't too bad. Again, the M2 has free service. The 2016s have full free service, 4-year, 50,000 miles. I believe they changed that for the 17 model year, and I think the 17 model is just going to be 336, but I could be wrong. And then the vehicle that'll probably get the most use in the winter is the Jeep Cherokee. This lease is actually up in February. I think I'm going to buy it out. The original price for this car was $44,000. Back in 2014, we leased it. I think the lease payment is $486 a month, and that's at 12,000 miles a year. And the buyout of this car is really good. I think this car is probably worth about 25. It's got, I'm guessing, I'd have to look, about 36,000 miles on it. And I think we might have less than that. We may have 33. But probably going to buy it out. The buyout, I think, is really good, only $22,000. So, you know, one thing that I will need sooner or later is tires and brakes. So these are original tires. The brakes are originals. These are heavy cars. They tend to go through brakes. So far, so good. I'll keep you updated on anything on that. But it's a great all-weather vehicle. You can fit 4 adults. Obviously fits my hockey gear. I take it to New York City a lot just because the tires are a higher profile. I don't have to worry about potholes so much, where if my other choice was the Mercedes, it would be I'd have constant flat tires. That's another reason why I went with 19-inch wheels with the GLA 45. Just the 20-inch were so low profile, I can see, you know, bending a couple wheels and going through, getting a couple bubbles on the tires easily. And what I'll do is I'll give you an update on the other cars. What's missing in this picture right now is the Porsche and the M Coupe, so we'll give you an update on that and combine it on one video. Thanks again for, be sure to subscribe, and what I'll do is when you see this video, it'll have the other cars in it as well.